And welcome to the Learn Dota 2 League Grand Finals. I don't think so, Tim, versus Toxic Idiots. We are well underway into the first phase of the draft, with Tim banning out Keeper of the Light and Nature's Prophet, and Toxic Idiots have removed Dark Willow, Witch Doctor, and Lycan. Each of these heroes have been rather highly valued, I think, across the board, regardless of skill level. Nature's Prophet, some teams still play him in the off lane, but he has kind of come into his own as a new 4 position. And of course, Shadow Fiend, one of the more popular and more powerful mids right now. Toxic Idiots, though, holding the first pick, could go for something really good like the Tusk, which is still in the pool. Some teams like the first pick, that Gyrocopter. He's been pretty strong, so I wouldn't be surprised to see the Gyro grab. Phantom Lancer, I think, is also first pick worthy. He can be countered, though. But most of these teams in the Learn Dota 2 League that I've been watching, that I've been casting for, they really seem to prefer to pick their supports first. And Disruptor is a plenty strong opening. While he has some shortcomings in the lane, I think he more than makes up for it for his just raw team fighting power. I don't think so, Tim. Picking up a pretty good laner and has the potential to set up for some nasty team fights. Also good counter push if Toxic Idiots grabbed some kind of pushing heroes, although 2 of the better ones, the Lycan and the Nature's Prophet, have been banned already, so Tim may not have to deal with that so much.
Dire team pick.
And then they're grabbing another really strong support, the Elder Titan. A lot of setup and control, and I don't think so, Tim, already. Winter Wyvern, there's just so much save potential. You've got the Cold Embrace, obviously. Winter's Curse can be used defensively, where you can just force people off of your, your core with it. And of course, the Elder Titan Sleep will... well, it puts people to sleep, so if you get that Echo Stomp off onto aggressive enemy heroes, you can shut them down. Toxic Idiots, we'll see what they want to respond with. They have a lot of options, but they go for that Clockwork. Very aggressive, and a very strong laner. I think when you picked a hero like Disruptor, you need something that lanes really well, because Disruptor... And I don't want it to sound like I'm saying Disruptor is this horrible laning hero. He's garbage. He just doesn't really come into his own until later, He doesn't have a ton of damage. Most of his trade and harass comes from right clicks. The Glimpse, though, can set up for great kills and can set up for cogs. So I'm sure we'll see some really interesting and cheeky plays from Toxic Idiots with what they've got so far. And then I don't think so, Tim. They really just want to team fight you, banning out that Tinker, another split pushing hero. I wonder if Toxic Idiots have picked up on that just yet. Waiting on TI's next ban. I would probably ban Gyrocopter. I feel like Tim wants to group up and fight, and Gyro really good at that as a core. They did remove that Phantom Lancer instead, though, and honestly, PL is the least split pushy of all of the Illusion heroes. He is a great brawler now, after his rework a billion years ago, it feels like. But I still think TI should get rid of the Gyro.
10 seconds remaining.
Tim have first pick in this coming phase. And again, great team fighting, can capitalize off of the slow and the sleep from the Titan. The slow from the Wyvern and the sleep from the Titan. But they could also, Tim could also go for something like a Luna. They could go for a Lifestealer. I actually really like Lifestealer for TI, though. Pretty good against Elder Titan. Wyvern, obviously, pretty good against it. Just, he's all physical damage. But even so, you can still Winter Curse. You can still, like, if they Winter's Curse one of his supports while he's raging, he won't turn and start hitting that support. But Tim, with this third pick, curious to see what we're getting.
Five seconds remaining.
Sand King also still in the pool if they wanted to grab that as an offlaner. I think I like Sand King more as an offlaner than a support these days. There's Tiny also available. Great core, I think. Great team fighter, massive burst, gives you some pushing power, something that Tim are kind of lacking with these 2 supports, but so are TI, and you don't really pick supports to be building hitters, although you do have the ones like Shaman in there who are really good at taking buildings. They could also go for that Dragon Knight, a durable brawly mid hero. Builds BKB. Razor also has been unbanned. Has Omni Knight been banned? No, he has not. So if Tim are going for team fights, the Omni, great in those. They might be a little worried about sort of lacking a little bit of damage. Wyvern and ET not doing a ton of damage. But Tim are grabbing another great team fighting hero. However, Toxic Idiots immediately go for the Brewmaster, and I really like that this game because you can blind the Void. He can just 1v1 the Void. I don't think he kills Void, but Void is just not gonna kill him either, especially not before 6. After 6, maybe if Brew doesn't spray you with his Drunken Haze before you chrono him.
5 seconds remaining.
I really like both of these picks. It's likely to be a safe lane Void. Well, his supports offer plenty of kill potential, and if Void gets 1 point in time lock and gets 1 bash, very likely Brew dies if Elder Titan and Wyvern are there to assist. However, a very durable offlaner that will, I think, serve Toxic Idiots really well in their offlane. Also, great team fighter. The Brew Pandas are, like, Primal Split, one of the best team fight spells out there, I feel like. And yep, Tim, they go for that Gyrocopter. It just goes so well with everything that they want to do. TI, I think, have really awesome pick-off, and their team fight, not horrible, but it's so hard to compete against Winter's Curse, Earth Splitter, Chronosphere, and Call Down. You know, it's so hard to look at your team fight and say, you know what, ours is actually better, especially because they have just 2 really long-range, huge AoE disables. It actually makes me wonder if TI are going to try to get one of their own. They are looking for a mid and a safe lane. Silencer might maybe be in mind for TI, but I think that hero is just meat against Elder Titan and Wyvern. I think that hero gets ganked once and he just loses his lane and dies 100 times. They could run the Brew mid and then pick up a Tide, though. That might not be bad. I actually think I like that. Ban out a mid, like, you know, there's no Shadow Fiend in the pool. There's no Tinker.
Radiant team ban.
But they're gonna go OD, so it is an off-lane Brew. I do really like the OD though. The saves from his banish, really nice. Can also banish Void inside his Chrono, which stops a lot of that damage from coming out. You can banish. I wonder if he has BKB on, if he can banish the person who's Winter's Curse. That would be awesome.
5 seconds remaining.
Now Tim will be looking for their mid, and TI their safe lane. Tim could run the gyro mid. That is distinctly possible. I've seen it more and more lately, but I don't know how well it matches up against OD. Juggernaut, final ban for Tim. Would have been a fine core. Team fights well. Spin, good against gyro. Jug's probably one of the better carries against Gyrocopter just because of spin. Later in the game, it matters a little bit less. In spins, you still get slowed by the call down. The slow does pierce spell immunity, but the damage is ignored. If I were TI, I'd probably go for a Razor as your safe lane.
Dire team pick.
Good. It's really good against Void. Actually, I wonder if this is going to be a mid gyro because they could offlane the Void. We'll see. So it might be. I feel like it's offlane Void and safe lane gyro. So Brew, suddenly way harder lane. If it were against the Void, I think he'd be fine. But Gyro, so much magic damage, and Brew does not enjoy playing against magic damage heroes. He does really, really well when the primary harass is right click because of his dodge and his blind. But when the harass is all magic, he just has to kind of take it and doesn't have a whole lot of tools to deal with it himself. See, I did ban Sniper last. Looking again for a safe lane. Terrorblade is there, but there is a lot of kill potential against the Terrorblade. Lifestealer, I still think I'm going to go for a Lifestealer. It's another one of those decent against Gyro cores. Good Infest Bombs on the clock. Also, Brew is going to get a blink.
Radiant team pick.
Yeah. I like that pick a lot for them. It just, I mean, yeah, it doesn't help against Chrono, Winter's Curse, but everything else it's going to do just fine. The popping the rage when Gyro runs at you in early game, rage just kind of cripples Gyro's damage output onto the lifestealer.
10 seconds remaining.
Tim are after a mid. I like Dragon Knight or
5
Death Prophet the
seconds
most.
remaining.
Death Prophet synergizes with Void really, really excellently. Dragon Knight also not bad with the Void. Yeah.
Choose wisely.
Yeah, that looks really good. I do like both of these drafts for different reasons. I think... So Tim is very, very cooldown reliant. They need these ults to do things, and they need to, like, every time that they're up, they're going to want to find something with it. But TI have much lower downtime in the fact that OD doesn't rely on his ult, Lifestealer doesn't rely on his ult. The other three heroes sort of, but the damage from TI is just almost always there when you consider arcane orbs and just feasts, like the right clicks from OD and LS. But you cannot fight Tim when all of their ults are up, when they have that Earth Splitter, the Curse, the Chrono. The Chrono and the Curse especially. Exorcism is also something you don't really want to fight against. It's a massive chunk of damage. So Toxic Idiots definitely have a lot of potential to win this game. It's not that while I favor the Radiant draft, it's definitely not a clean-cut game.
It was time to prepare for battle.
Forgive me for this. Sorry.
One of the heroes
For some reason, my
experienced some
config options
technical
just are not
difficulties.
working. Anyways, let's introduce these teams. Young Mouse playing on the Radiant. On Tim is on Gyrocopter. Kruger playing Death Prophet. Crobellus Natiak. The Faceless Void Elder Titan by Dustfinger. And Ceres is playing Winter Wyvern. Then on the other side of the map, playing the Harbinger, De Bruyne. Brewmaster by Kyrix. Lifestealer played by Luth. Minu playing the Clock, and last but not least, Exshal
30 seconds
on
to
the
battle.
Disruptor. We'll see if they try to contest these bounty runes. I'm not sure that they... Kruger did start Crypt Swarm, so it is contestable, I think. Yeah, it looks like they do want to go for this with Feast plus Battery Assault, I'm imagining. Yeah, he started the Battery Assault, and the Thunderstrike, they'll have to give that up.
Off to
On the
glorious
contrary, though, they get the other side's runes, so really no real loss here. Both teams just
Whose side
stealing
was
the
I on
others,
again?
the other team's bounty runes. So the Brewmaster, this is a Kyrix. I think is going to have a real bad time in this lane. It's gonna be ugly for him. Just so much magic damage, and again, Brew not great against magic damage. He does awesome against the right-clicking enemies, but the magic damage will prove to be problematic. He did start that Drunken Haze, so we'll be able to blind people like Ceres, so we're definitely gonna try to right-click him. But he is 100% zoned. He sees that Elder Titan, he knows Wyvern's nearby, and he is out. The mid matchup, I'm going to give this to Death Prophet, especially once Kruger gets Siphon. De Bruyne, OD, good laning hero, but DP is one of the best laners out there, I feel like. Especially now that she has that Spirit Siphon, going to be really hard to trade. Up top is offlane Void. I think this is probably not horrible for the Void. He's going to need to be playing back once Time Walk's on cooldown, which it is now, and he may have overextended. He's got 3 seconds left until he can Time Walk. The Battery Assault beating him down. He can Time Walk, and he will jump back into the lane and to safety, but he's still gotten 0 XP, so I don't think it's that bad for the Void, but he's level 1 with basically 0 XP. The Brew, similar situation. Both heroes, both off lanes against a tri lane, against cores that can capitalize on ganks on damage. So we'll want to be extremely cautious. Elder Titan trying to contesting Kyrix. He's very low. He's fortunate he wasn't hit by this Echo Stomp. Young Mouse, free lane. I'm pretty sure Luth, same situation. Yeah, they have the exact same CS too. I'm interested to see these supports move towards mid, and I think if you're the Dire, I think if you're TI, you're going to really want to do that to shut down this Death Prophet. You have to be careful, as Kruger did get 2 points in the Spirit Siphon, which means she can turn, Death Prophet can turn on a gank and get a kill. Even if it's 2 or 3 heroes, if she has 2 Spirit Siphons going out, she just gets so much healing from it. Kyrex did get his level 2, so the Drunken Brawler will allow him to be a fair bit more durable thanks to that dodge. And Nadiak, also level 2, got that time lock. But X-Shaw pulling the wave in means that Nadiak completely zoned out. And this is kind of why I think we've seen so much less offlane Void, is that this is a hero that does really well with farm, a hero that can really, really transition into a very, very strong carry, and as a result, I think people have been playing him in the safe lane for that. Battery Assault, Nadiak dueling up with Mainu. I don't know if you can beat this clock. Yeah, time walks away. Out-dueled by Rattletrap.
You can't have it!
2 points in Rocket Barrage, but Kyrex now at least able to soak XP as Seri, she goes mid, gets banished, a TP coming in from the Disruptor. He has the kinetic field, Cold Embrace, and I don't think they can kill her. She should be just fine. We'll take a bit of a harass, but I think this is okay. No win or loss for either side in this case, except that De Bruyne did lose some HP from the chilling, or the Arctic Burn.
Denied.
Homing missile, Echo Stomp, Kyrex fast asleep. They have a Rocket Barrage. He's taking a ton of damage, and I don't think he survives this. This could be the first blood. One more right click, and Young Mouse brings down the brew for first blood.
That's how it's done, kids.
If you're Kyrex, you're gonna need a drink after that one, and more accurately, some infused raindrops could lessen the burden. And Ceres steals his bounty rune. No reprieve for him. Mainu gets bashed, he might die, but not likely. Ooh, I heard a salve. Okay, it was Mainu's. I thought the Void had an instant salve cancel. Ceres with DD. Kyrex dodges that first hit from the Arctic Burn. TP rotation from Mainu though. So they will back off. However, it's no real commitment to just throw down that Arctic Burn, get that harass going. The support duo of the Radiant, just their heroes, the ET and the Wyvern, is horrifying in the early game. That is actually so much damage. Nadiak, what? He time walked into the same spot, getting open wounds, trapped in that kinetic field. Nadiak. Oh no, but a Cold Embrace, excellent rotation from Ceres. The Thunderstrike, not enough damage, and now an Echo Stomp puts them to sleep. And let's see how they wake up. The massive damage coming out from that staple gun. Good kinetic field. Luth pops Rage. Nadiak is now there fighting. But Dustfinger needs to be careful as Luth continues pursuit. He is level 5, so a lot of damage on the life coming out from the Lifestealer. Excellent rotations from the Elder Titan and Ceres saving Nadiak, who absolutely would have died down there. Or up in the top lane. They nearly got something with it too. But these two supports, they may want to shrine the ET and the Void. I actually feel like Young Mouse could get a double kill here. I feel like he's at very, very minimal risk if they engage on him, since he's level 6. Rocket Barrage, Flat Cannon, Call Down, that's just a ton of damage. Ceres roaming towards the mid lane. We'll see if she wants to go for something. It doesn't seem like it. Death Prophet has begun to fall behind in farm and denies, so a bit of an advantage in the mid lane for TI. Both cores having a ball in their respective lanes, so this game incredibly close. We've only seen one kill, and it's been the first blood. I imagine there will be a point where it just explodes, though. Luth, almost impossible to kill, I feel like, for Tim. He's just like Rage, they're pretty much all magic damage. ET would need to just soak a ton of damage with the Astral Spirit. Death Prophet has Exorcism and a Haste Rune. Ooh, we'll see. I wonder if she will make use of that. It's a nasty combo, almost as infamous as the Storm regen rune. Clock doesn't have a ward. I just don't know if they can kill this guy. They're pinging that ET is missing. They saw him TP, so I imagine they expect him to be in the bot lane. The Ceres herself coming down. Rocket. Kyrix only level 3. This Brew getting shut down brutally. Now the Arctic Burn slowing him up. They have call down too. Rocket Barrage. They may not even need the call down. Splinter Blast and a couple more right clicks. Young Mouse. Another kill for this Gyro. And the Brew just stuck in his cups. Can't get up for this lane. But Natiak, this Void not doing a whole lot better. His future not so bright if this is how the lane continues to go. Getting completely shut out by Luth on this Lifestealer, who's just charging at him and brawling with him. But Death Prophet may change things up. She has Exorcism, Spirit Siphon. The Haste still has a little bit of time left. She has the Spirit Siphon. The Rage is pop, but it doesn't help against Exorcism Spirits. They're physical damage. Luth trying to heal up, but Kruger, the Exorcism is too much. Will he get her? The Infest saves Luth, and Kruger. Very close, but unfortunately, close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, not Dota. So Luth, a high value kill on the Death Prophet, and now this tier 1 tower is being sieged. They used the Cold Embrace on a creep to extend the lifespan of the creeps there. But Clock should be able to defend this. And that Lifestealer will have an armlet before too terribly long. I don't imagine it will take him a horrible endeavor to get that, but OD up at the top lane, throws out a Banish onto the Void. Max rank Banish too, so a lot of damage, but he's able to jump it off and heal.
Radiant just fortified their structures.
Oh, uh-oh. I think this is on me. Lag coming out, but Kruger extremely low, stuck in that kinetic field, nowhere to run.
Radiant's top tower is gone.
An easy kill for Toxic Idiots on the Death Prophet. She's incredibly vulnerable to these. To heroes like Disruptor are very good against the Death Prophet. She's not mobile. She can't escape the kinetic field, and without Exorcism up, her damage it's not terrible, but it's also not as impressive. De Bruyne bullying Ceres, Cold Embrace, but it's the pure damage from the Arcane Orbs that are going to be the problem to banish for that magic damage, and he has stolen a good amount of intelligence. No Sanity's Eclipse though. Echo Stomp does not put him down, not putting him to sleep, so De Bruyne able to walk this off. And with that tier 1 top down, there's a lot more room for the Dire to get aggressive. Speaking of aggressive, I wonder if we'll see this Gyrocopter get involved in fights early. That's kind of like the hallmark of the hero as a carry, is that he can rotate in the very beginning of the game. He can go and find kills, but they did see Luth pick up that DD rune thanks to this ward right here, so they're rotating heroes to get some help. Jaro gonna back off so he isn't mauled by Luth.
Dire's middle tower is under fire.
Net worth, Luth at about 5k, Gyro 4.6, so very even on net worth. The big loss right now for the Radiant, the big loss for, I don't think so, Tim, is Kruger on this Death Prophet. Has really struggled to take off. 0 and 2, 34 CS to the OD's 56, and almost 2k net worth down on the Outworld Devourer.
Denied!
Not a good start for her at all. And now OD, De Bruyne, playing the bully on the Faceless Void. If he has Sanity's Eclipse, he probably just one-shots the Void. Because he's stolen, yeah, that's a one-shot with the Sanity's Eclipse. Maybe not, it'll be close, but it's still a lot of damage. Oh, hook shot from Minu. There's an infested Lifestealer in there. Dustbringer trying to stomp, but it doesn't matter. Does the Dance of Death with the Clockwork Battery Assault, cancels the animation, and is killed by Luth. Homing Missile. Yeah, Jaro playing it safe here. Has Ceres to back him up. I wonder if he wants to get a fight. Drops the call down. It hits just Minu. Rocket Barrage off cooldown. It glimpses back to protect his teammate. But the Arctic Burn, she has a Splinter Blast, but they're splitting. They don't want to get that Splinter Blast onto the hero, and Luth might need to be a little careful as Young Mouse is here with the Rocket Barrage, and his Rage is on cooldown, taking a lot of damage, but I don't think they can get him, and both teams should be able to escape relatively unscathed. However, Kyrex had a much closer call, and Kruger might just lose his life. The Spirit Siphon on cooldown. There is a rocket. Incredibly low. Echo Stomp. Misses De Bruyne, and now he might choose a newer target, the Dustfinger. Series Chrono, and oh! Nice Chrono catching this OD. Will they be able to kill him, though? They need just a little bit more damage. He has a defensive banish. Should be able to block the homing missile with it. Series going to guard herself in the Cold Embrace. And Dustfinger looking for that Echo Stomp, puts Luth to sleep, puts one to sleep. Luth dead! Gets his killing spree ended by the Death Prophet. They also lose De Bruyne thanks to the Arctic Burn. And now they continue to pursue X-Shaw getting siphoned, but will escape. They don't have any more catch. Cold Embrace, not enough mana. He does have the mana to do the Astral Spirit Echo Stomp combo, but you don't want to stick around on 100 HP. A good fight for the Radiant. Killing 2 big cores, so a 1200 net worth swing and a 1500 XP swing favoring I Don't Think So Tim. Gyrocopter stands at the top, but only barely. Lifestealer will seek to usurp his top position. His armlet completed gives him increased survivability and respectable damage output. And speaking of damage output, he'll be going for a Mithril Hammer next. There's no Primal Split. This could actually be a death on Kyrex. Yeah, there's nothing he can do. Just carpet bombed by Young Mouse. They do have Glimpse. I don't know that they can get in range for it, though. Ooh, they did, but there's no Static Storm. It's just for show, really. And Dustfinger Series positioned well to protect Young Mouse in case he is jumped on. It's so hard to kill their cores when they have the Winter Wyvern there, when they have the Elder Titan there, because there's the Winter's Curse, there's the Cold Embrace, there's the Echo Stomp. There's so many ways to peel them away, to keep their heroes safe. Luth can get his first Mithril Hammer, is level 10, grab that attack speed talent, synergizes great with the Feast, every attack doing bonus damage based on the enemy's current HP, healing him, so can brawl up against tanky heroes. They don't have Hookshot. Dustfinger gets caught in the cogs, trying to Echo Stomp and not really able to get in range, and now actually out of mana, but Kruger with haste shouldn't be in danger.
Dire's bottom tower lies in ruins.
Young Mouse, with the assistance of Ceres, claims this tier 1 tower at
Dire's
bot,
bottom tower is under attack.
kind of recovering some map for his team as they lost their tier 1 up top lane. Oh, Kyrex, he's still not 6. He just wants to get his Primal Split, but now there's 3 heroes here. Call down. It pushes them up to the high ground. Those cogs! Oh, no, that's not what they want at all. They do have Glimpse, though. They can pull him back. He's going to go back onto the high ground, which means he has to run through all of these TI heroes. Flat Cannon, Death Prophet, Echo, stop putting everyone to sleep! But Young Mouse in the Cold Embrace, Winter's Curse! He might actually escape. No, the Rage from Luth, able to save his teammate, able to not turn on his teammate and finish the job that his team started. But another Chronosphere from Natiak onto OD. OD, does he get this kill? He has a defensive advantage, but no, the bash. And now Primal Split committed. Natiak with no time walk for 2 seconds. That's far too long. A 2-for-1 trade. And I would say TI pretty happy with that one. Netting about a 1.2 gold swing, kind of equalizing things. They are still going to be a little bit behind in XP because they only, they just got a little bit less. Oh, Feast onto Dustfinger. Hookshot as well. Cold Embrace. A lot of commitment to get this Elder Titan. The creep wave there will eat a lot. Exorcism. Call down. The Static Storm. They're all slowed up with the Exorcism going. Kruger's already killed X-Shaw, and it looks like they're all trapped here. The Exorcism Spirits. It's a horror movie from the 80s. They're losing everything. A triple kill for Kruger. They dive in so deep, so aggressively, and just walk right into a death trap. A great Cold Embrace from Ceres, able to buy time for his teammate, able to keep that Elder Titan alive long enough for them to just turn it around. Yes, they lost that Elder Titan, but they killed 4 heroes for it. If you're an Elder Titan, you're pretty happy with that. Gyrocopter once again getting back on top of the net worth, but it's a constant struggle between Gyro and the Lifestealer, going back and forth with one another, and this tower will give them a little bit extra XP.
Dire's middle tower is under
Or
attack.
gold, I should say. Building that lead a little bit, and now at just barely 2k, Tim are in a respectable position, and it's like I mentioned earlier, it is so hard to fight against this team. They have Winter's Curse, they have Chronosphere, they have Call Down, and soon they'll have the Earth Splitter as well, another really powerful damage spell. And even though Kruger had a really, really rough start to his lane, he hasn't died since then, and he's gotten 4 kills and 3 assists. So catching up on the net worth, as we can see up here, Kruger and very happy with that, I think. I mean, he had a haste rune, not that last fight, but the fight before that. They will lose the tier 1 tower,
Radiant's
but
middle
it was
tower
going to fall
is
anyway. Tier 1's
unhappy
eventually
indeed.
just free gold. Elder Titan finally getting level 6. Void, this is kind of an old school Void build. The Vlad's Diffusal into like Manta, that's sort of older. I haven't seen that in a while. I do think for offlane Void it is the better build because it's a lot cheaper. Rotations to the top lane. Mainu has hookshot and a secret package. Lifestealer. Ooh, they missed that hook. But Young Mouse still in so deep. He has a Mask of Madness, may be able to run away. They have Battery Assault. They have Cogs. They're slowing him up with the open wounds. Arcane Orbs. And oh, Young Mouse shot down from the sky. The Earth Splitter. It's not enough. And oh, a great glimpse back from Exshal. Dustfinger will lose his life as well. Cougar trying to find something in return, but it looks like just a wasted exorcism, and he may even die for it. The boulder stunning him up. They do have Winter's Curse and Cold Embrace. They may try to use it. They get it onto Disruptor, and they turn it around. His teammate's betraying him. Ceres gets that kill, and maybe saves his Death Prophet. The Cogs. Oh, a great Chrono onto 3 heroes. Clockwork will die to the Winter Wyvern. Right clicks outside, and a double for Ceres. Is she able to escape? Will they even pursue any further? Lude's going into the trees. Ceres gets passed back around, may be able to TP out. I don't think they have the damage. They might get a banish. No. Ceres
Under attack.
flies away. And really great teamfight spell usage in that for the Radiant. But even so, losing Gyrocopter just for 2 supports is not great. And we can see that here. They recovered from it. They didn't lose as much as they could have. It totals to about a 600 gold swing and a 700 XP swing. But that's not disastrous. Both teams got, I think, a little bit of something out of that. Mostly, in the case of Ceres, gets a bit of gold and will be soon equipped with her Force Staff. Just goes to show that when fighting against this team, this Radiant team, the Tim team, the spells they have can just, it's something that looks like it's going to be free, you can get punished for. However, it's, as I mentioned, lots of downtime. You've got 70 seconds until Chronosphere is back. Winter's Curse is going to be up here in just a second. Not a long cooldown on that one. Earth Splitter also back, but Exorcism 50 seconds. Exorcism in the Chrono. I don't know that Tim wants to fight without those spells. And there's a DD on this Lifestealer. He doesn't find Void, though. Disruptor. I don't think they have vision of this Void. They might soon, though. That ward is missing the Faceless Void. Young Mouse Dragon Lance finished. After his Hurricane Pike increases his mobility, his survivability by a respectable chunk. Do they have Hookshot? A glimpse is all they need, though. If that Hookshot misses, Static Storm, Feast, or Open Wounds, taking a lot of damage. No teammates there to save him. Elder Titan Earth Splitter, but it's too late. Without the Winter Wyvern, they don't have real saves. So another kill on this Gyro puts Lifestealer at the top by about 500 gold in terms of net worth. Let's take a look at the hero levels. It looks like the Dire probably losing on XP just because of their supports and their offlane doing very, very badly in that respect. But the XP advantage, minimal. Very minimal. Oh, they glimpsed him back, but that puts him away from the Lifestealer. He does have Time Walk in just a second. He's going to try to run away with that Chronosphere. So a defensive Chronosphere forced out a victory for the Dire. Getting that Chronosphere to get popped just to run away. But down at the Primal Spit, it's getting less worth it. They want to try to get a kill off of this, but one more second and he has Time Walk again. So both teams heavy commitments for absolutely nothing, although Void did manage to survive thanks to that ultimate. De Bruyne, after his Rod of Atos, pinned down heroes like the Void. They won't be able to time walk away, and man, dude, you chunk with that Arcane Orb. Uh-oh, Ceres, be careful, there's a blink. And a hook shot with your name written all over it. Hook shot. Actually, they find Dustfinger. Dustfinger not able to use his stomp because of those, because of the battery assault and the magic damage. The cold embrace, no save. That magic damage is just too much. Exorcism, Colt, Winter's Curse, hitting Clockwork, but their teammates aren't there. But it does set it perfectly for the call down, which hits on 2. Minu gonna get killed by the flat cannon and mega kill for Kruger. Brew will also die. Luth, will he escape? No, the bash time up perfect. A great static storm. There's no follow-up though. Glimpse, getting Kruger away, snapping that Spirit Siphon. They need to be kind of careful pursuing this though. There is a Sanity's Eclipse, which is a ton of damage. However, Ixchel, a defensive banish, may be able to save him. He is walking towards that shrine, but it is on cooldown. With that stun, it looks like he will die. His teammate unable to banish him. And now De Bruyne himself maybe gonna get caught. His silence, can't use that, can't use Sanity's Eclipse, can't use his banish. He has 17 stick charges, he pops it. He's still alive, banishing himself. So actually, they should be able to kill Natiak here. The Echo Stomp not going to latch, and that Banish Pop will do a ton of... Man, look at that damage from the Sanity's Eclipse. But will they be able to pursue anything else? 5 seconds until hook shot. They want to keep eyes. They use that rocket to keep vision. They have... Oh, no! Oh, he just misses Minu. It looks like they won't be able to get any more off of that. The Hurricane Pike on cooldown. Blink from Kyrex. Not really in range to get that Thunderclap slow.
Isn't well at the moment.
But the Dire do manage to kind of net a small gold lead. It's less than 1k, so really small. They are still a bit behind on XP, about 2k. Oh, Ceres, you may have turned the wrong way. Winter's Curse trying to escape. She can't walk out of this. A silence and a primal split. Spirit Vessel as well. The Spirit Vessel will reduce all the healing she receives too, so a pretty good counter item for the Winter Wyvern. They will lose this tier 1 tower in addition to their Wyvern, so a small gold lead getting just slightly larger by the moment for Toxic Idiots. Luth and now De Bruyne ahead of the Gyro with Kruger. All of his power rests in this Exorcism, as he is very far behind on items. Going to be going for the Octarine Core. I like that a lot as a second item for Death Prophet. It just lets you come online. It just lets you fight so much more, and you just live so much longer in these fights. Chrono on 2 heroes, but it doesn't get the brew. They just get this. We're trying to get this life surge. Do they have the damage in the Chrono? He has Infest. The Elder Titan Splitter not doing a whole lot. Looks like they will get Minu, and just to be safe, Luth invests Kyrex, and he blinks away, so they won't be able to get the Brewmaster or the Lifestealer. Just one hero for that. Their damage outside the Chrono without Exorcism, or without the Gyro, who also died in the top lane. It just isn't enough there, and more. So we missed the Gyro kill in that, so it's probably inaccurate. I would say it probably is at least dead even. It probably slightly favors the Dire though, and now their Toxic Idiots are at a 2k gold lead. And XP they brought back down into their favor at about 1k for them. However, a 2k gold lead against a draft like the one that Tim has, it could turn into nothing in no time. Just ridiculous team fight combo potential. You can get chronoed and then cursed and then splittered. There's just so much that can happen. I wonder though if Toxic Idiots will go after Roshan. I think they have the better draft at killing it. OD is great at hitting Roche because his orbs are pure damage. Lifestealer, pretty good against Roche because of open wounds. Kyrex after a Vlad's of his own got a little jealous seeing a Void pick one up, so we'll grab that. Void though, going for a Black King bar will allow him more longevity inside his Chronosphere and able to fight a little bit more aggressively. Oh, hook and an Infest Pop on a Young Mouse. Mouse just out of range to pop the Shrine, can't do it. Will they be able to follow up? They put the clock to sleep, but a root from De Bruyne, and now Elder Titan himself getting hit by the Spirit Vessel. Force Staff, and I think they may escape. No, the phase from Luth. He wants to pursue the open wounds now. Glimpse back. They get the save onto his teammate, but Ceres looks like it will cost her life. Winter's Curse, but unfortunately De Bruyne gets that last auto attack off, and now a great silence, perfectly timed, and a beautiful chrono on top. The Elder Titan split. They have the Exorcism this time. It's a lot of damage, but is it going to be enough? They need to be careful fighting here. Another good sleep. The Echo Stomp denies enemy heroes from getting in, but the root onto this Void who doesn't have a Chrono. Nadiak, oh, they whiffed the Sanity's Eclipse. He dodges it. But they still lost 2, and that Gyro has just had a really rough past 5 minutes, dying again and again. Comes back onto Kruger, Static Storm, stuck on top, gets Yules onto himself defensively, but doesn't have a Spirit Siphon, now rooted. Radamatos, opened wounds. Nadiak has a Time Walk, goes up high ground. Echo Stomp, but it just delays damage on the tower. They don't have Death Prophet for 40 seconds, and even if she bought back, there's no Exorcism for 100 seconds. And without Exorcism, again, her damage just very lacking. And with that, the Dire turn to Roche. Toxic Idiots want to get Luth to be even more difficult to kill. Give him 2 lives. Without OD here, it'll take a while, and they may actually want to be careful, because just because they don't have the Exorcism, there's still a call down to fight against in the pit, and a Winter's Curse. And this is very slow right now, and Luth just backing out of the pit. Uh-oh, Ceres walks right under a ward. Her sentry not going to find any obs.
Top tower needs bandages.
The Dire just bail out of the pit. They understand it's risky. And with all 5 Radiant heroes up, you probably don't even want to approach Roche. But especially with Chrono cooling down in 20 seconds, Exorcism cooling down in 40, but they don't even need that. They have Winter's Curse, Earth Splitter, and Winter's Curse. Or Call Down. Mash trying to catch up in farm. He's now 1k gold behind the Lifestealer and 2k behind the Outworld Devourer. So a long road ahead of, I don't think so, Tim, as the 6k gold lead has accumulated for the Dire. I want to reiterate, though, with the team fight potential that exists for I don't think so, Tim, even with a 6k gold lead, the whole game can just flip on its head. It can just turn on its head right away due to all of the team fight setup that they have. However, that only goes so far, and I did mention it in the draft. It does mean they have a lot of downtime. If they don't get those items up, and Death Prophet not horribly far from her Octarine, which will help this issue, once they use all of their spells, especially the Chrono, Exorcism, and Winter's Curse, they have a lot less team fight power. So they can win, they can almost certainly win team fights when all their spells are up. After that, it's so much more difficult. As the Gyro doesn't have his SNY yet. He's pretty close, nor a BKB, making it just very hard to fight. A smoke into Radiant territory. If there's a ward there, they should know that something fishy's going on. Because the Courier would have seen, they would have seen the Courier hook shot from Mainu. He has Luth inside, and Dustfinger, no chance. Radamatos stuns up the, roots up the Void. Nadiak going to time walk that a little bit of that damage off. Is up for De Bruyne. Do they want to defend this without their Elder Titan? This tower is already low. It looks like they are going to give it up.
Radiant's bottom tower is now a pile of dust.
Wise decision to not give up, to not fight for that tier 2 once it's 4v5. But it is unfortunate they had to do that. It's now a 7k gold, the 8k gold, and XP almost just as high for Toxic Idiots. Flash completed on Magynx. Kyrix is Brewmaster. Smoke picked up by Ceres. It looks like they may try to make a play with it. Maybe want to try to... They see all the Dire heroes in mid. This would be a good time to smoke. They smoke everyone except Nadiak. This could be a bait. They might go for it. He has a Chrono, doesn't use it, gets rooted. Do they turn on it? They spotted Dustfinger, a good silence. He's trying to get an Echo Storm up, but he's just setting. He's a sitting duck! De Bruyne killing him off. Primal Split. Oh, the Sanity's Eclipse erases the hero. Void dead already. Kruger getting Spirit Vessel. Call down, but is it going to be enough? The Cold Embrace trying to save, but there's so much magic damage. I don't know if it's enough. It's a triple kill for De Bruyne. Gyro in the danger zone. He's trapped. He's banished. The Yule's Tornado, the Earth Splitter. They need to do something. It does a lot of damage, but it's really not enough. The Winter's Curse did kill Clock. But they disengage after forcing 2 buybacks and killing 3 important heroes. The Banish, in a way, did save... Oh, Chrono! But it missed. A lone blueberry vanishing. Oh, that's so disheartening, and has to re-encourage the Dire to go in for something, to go back for it. Rooted on this gyro. He was saved by the first Banish, but this next one, not so generous. They get a Banish onto the Elder Titan, unstoppable for De Bruyne. These arcane orbs, they hurt so bad. He gets the Hurricane Pike, Dustfinger, dead. A double kill, another triple it looks like for De Bruyne. He blinks forward, but Time Walk down to the low ground. He roots Nadiak, he's in pursuit. He's hunting him, but so slow thanks to the time dilation, he can't get any more. And OD has suddenly come online. De Bruyne, the master of this game. And with their spells on cooldown, Invigorated, Vivified, the Dire pursue deep into the enemy high ground. Yules from Kruger, but it's just to kind of push him away, just tickled by that Crypt Swarm. Really, I'm not sure the Radiant... They may not lose... if Ceres gets back up before they push high ground again, they might be able to hold it because of Splinter Blast, because of the Winter's Curse, and then Gyro will be up soon thereafter. So high ground's still a tough matter for the Dire, but fighting in the low ground, fighting in an even place. Oh, De Bruyne has a Yules, uses it on his opponent. Echo Stomp set up. They put him to sleep. 2, they have the damage. Spirit Siphon. But I just don't think they can kill him. Hurricane Pike snaps the Siphon.
Radiant's bottom tower has a nasty situation.
They turn their attention back to Roshan, an enemy without all of that pesky AoE crowd control. However, with every Radiant hero alive, they did see enemies walk into the pit. They have to know this is happening. Will they contest? Roche already at 50%. They can TP to their shrine, but they just aren't going for it. They don't want to contest. They want to save their ammo for high ground, don't want to commit any spells, and without Chrono, it would be very risky. So Roche will die, and that egg is picked up by the Luth. The Radiant, he also has some good ambient damage, and the mischance will be difficult, investing right into Mainu, who will likely just hookshot up to the enemy high ground. If they pick off Ceres or the Void, the 2 best crowd control spells on the Radiant, then they can, I think they can break high ground. But before that, if you go up as in high ground as a group, you're gonna lose heroes. You probably just want to send Luth up there, maybe De Bruyne. They're very tanky. Chrono, but only on 1. The hookshot, actually, he brings it on to 2, effectively 3, but a glimpse back. It nullifies that Chronosphere. They miss the Earth Splitter, the call down, the defensive banish, and an immediate blink away. So without Chrono, without call down, without Earth Splitter, this high ground defense gets a lot harder. They're going to rely on a perfect Winter's Curse from Ceres, but even with it, I'm not sure it'll matter. They can only really eliminate 1 hero off the back of that. Call down cooling down in 20 seconds. Exorcism online, but Luth still with an Aegis. They didn't kill anything with that Chrono, nor that Earth Splitter, nor that call down. Winter's Blast, they get the root, and he's going right onto the Winter Wyvern. He wants to get her away from his allies. He doesn't want to let her get in position for a Winter's Curse. Ceres has to use it on just the OD while her tier 3 is getting bashed. It's not a very efficient use, but she just had to do it or she would have died. Now OD down on the low ground, a good static storm. They do have a glimpse, but I don't know that they're going to use it. And now the call down lands onto 2. A beautiful Echo Stomp. Flat cannon damage. Kyrix getting low. He does not have Primal Split. He should die here. And a double kill for Young Mouse. His clock dies to those flat cannon shots. OD stuck in the banish, but able to blink away. Will they continue pursuing De Bruyne? He's not spotted. He sees enemy heroes, though, and might actually try to get the fight off. He has Sandy's Eclipse. 1! Maybe 2, but a bash saving Nadiak. The Cold Embrace. Hurricane Pike. Don't look at that damage. 3 hits! Oh, the Yule's just saving. I don't think they can fight this guy. He's just massive. He's so scary. Banishing himself. Not losing any damage. Death Prophet is healing up De Bruyne. It looks like he's out of ammo. Quite the hero. Quite the fighter, but not against not against 4 Radiant heroes. I Love Tim able to get a good pick for themselves and a decent fight across the board. Dragging net worth down a little bit. It's going to come back in their favor just slightly, but it took so much work. And De Bruyne at this point 5k gold ahead of the Gyro. Lifestealer 4k gold. I'm just not sure it's going to be enough. The way the spells got used in that last fight, Nadiak's Chrono didn't really do anything. The Winter's Curse was forced out very early by De Bruyne, just going incredibly deep onto Ceres. Ceres, it makes sense that she used it when she did, because without it she would have died and forced her team to fight 5v4, which is not the position that they needed to be in. But the Chrono needs to be better. The Winter's Curse needs to be better. They need to get these spells, like a ton of value out of these spells, because that's what makes them strong, is the control that they have with these spells. Without it, I don't think they can just fight up against the raw damage potential that Toxic Idiots have. That OD was like 4-shotting heroes, 3-shotting heroes, and it's only going to get worse as he builds more items. That Lincoln's will be unable to Winter's Curse him now. He's going for a BKB. I think that's a bit of overkill. I'd rather see him get a Scythe. I feel like probably better. And now with that first tier 3 claim, they're able to get shrines. They also have half of a lane of racks, and that ranged racks, it's a love tap away from death.
Good for my time.
Time is money.
Luth with Assault Cuirass makes towers and heroes that much squishier, that much more vulnerable to the damage of TI.
I was meant to have this.
Minu positioned aggressively, using rocket flares to get vision in the enemy base. Perhaps wants to go for a hook shot, or at least I'll try to allow his team to engage on high ground, and De Bruyne might find an enemy. Nadiak rooted, taking a lot of damage. She would probably need to commit the Sanity's Eclipse for that before he gets away with the time lock, but it did give 20 intelligence to the OD. Hook shot deep in. A beautiful Echo Stomp though. Slowing things down. Call down. Latches on 2 and Chrono onto 2 as well. The Brew, he's split though. They'll need to kill all 3. They get 1. They get 2. The Aegis is finally claimed, but it was just about to expire anyway, so they got good use of it. The BKB and Gyro's so low, but Nadiak, time walking away. King Mouse not able to get run away so easily. Ceres rooted up. Cold embracing herself in time. And a nice sleep should save her, but will she actually be able to escape? Back on the side, Kruger doing what he can, but just goes down. Luth, a double kill. The Sanity's Eclipse, icing on the cake. Fly back immediately. Meteor Hammer. Luth getting low. Glimmered, banished defensively. OD put to sleep, but they're losing this tier 3. The Lincoln's is popped. They turn on to Gyro. Winter's Curse on to the OD, but it just delays him. And now Young Mouse, oh, he might go down to De Bruyne. One more right click, he gets him inside his own fountain, puts the enemy to sleep with the rage. Luth able to ignore that Echo Stomp. And now Nadiak blinks back, glimpses back onto him. He's rooted now. It looks like he's going to lose his life as well. One more hit. The pure damage is just too much, and they tap out. GG De Bruyne. This OD, an unstoppable force.
Bottom barracks were defeated.
Well played, Toxic Idiots, claiming this first game. I don't think so. Tim had a great early game. They played very well in the early game, but unfortunately were unable to turn that into any more advantages. And later in the game, they just made too many mistakes. They lost too many heroes. They didn't get enough. They didn't get enough out of their ults. They missed Winter's Curses. They missed Chronos. They would pop Earth Splitters for very little. So they just didn't get enough out of their draft. TI playing that very, very well, getting excellent picks. That Gyro just got picked off time and time again, opening up so many opportunities for TI to push forward. And of course, once De Bruyne and that OD came online, they just didn't have the damage to kill him. Not without all those ults up. This is only game 1 in a best of 3, but next game could be the end of the road for either team, actually, because it is the grand final. So Toxic Idiots could find themselves standing triumphant above everyone else in the Learn Dota 2 League. We could also be forced to a game 3 where they're forced to fight off once more against I Don't Think So Tim. If you guys are enjoying the cast, we will be right back with game number 2.